Shalom Akim. I'm going to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS who teach and rule well. And salutation to all the Akim in all four corners of earth who's pushing his truth, sincerity. Shalom Akim. Yeah, I want to get into this cutting news I just seen, and it said that, caught this like last night. It said the UPS to cut 20,000 jobs on reducing Amazon deliveries as U.S. tariffs weigh in. And I was thinking, like, man, UPS, ever since I was a kid growing up, that was a job. That was a cornerstone job. You just turned 15, 16, you need to work. Everybody else tripping, you go to UPS, They allow people coming out of jail to go to UPS. They had you could work part-time, to help you with money. A lot of people that grew up on UPS, as far as the services and they give you and everything. But we're dealing in different times now, man. UPS used to come into schools and have numbers all over the place, telling you you're hiring. Another sign to change this time, you used to have an employment like paper, they used to go around circulating. And it'd tell you, the different schools to go get your education at, higher education, as far as a trade. Then they also had a bunch of jobs in there, man. I used to be going through those things all the time, just finding jobs. The newspaper used to be able to go, certain papers, certain one of these different free papers they used to give out. Used to always just be able to find somewhere it was hiring. They had a job reference or ad for help, and UPS would be the front runner on them for the most part. But it'd be a bunch of different jobs, but UPS was always hiring. You don't even see that anymore, man. The recruit. I don't know if the recruiters still go to the schools or not. They used to come to the schools and stuff from UPS and reminding you, you don't have to be broke this summer. You can come work for us, But times are changing, man. Times are changing, man. And now we have our president, Trump, and he's pushing for these tariffs, and it's hurting Americans because he's trying to fix something that's been done for at least 30 plus years ago. I want to say when Clinton put in North American trade agreement, and then I was listening to, I want to say, Jimmy Dore and some older Edomites, and they say it goes a little bit back before that. They say it went back to I want to say Reagan. Reagan and some of those presidents in the 80s are Slaki. Let's go back to the guy, Dick, who got caught with the scandal. We could go back to him. They said that these dudes were the ones that were selling America out back then, master planning and selling land and secrets to the enemies of America and stuff, and getting allowing China to come, spies to be here and just build up their country off of our information and stuff like that. And of course they were getting a pretty little penny, but it was all set up at some point, man. So this is nothing that just came out of nowhere. But basically, so once again, Trump is trying to fix what happened decades ago he's trying to fix that within like a year or two, and it's just not going to happen like that. These countries like China are used to doing what they want to in the market, especially they're getting sending their goods here to America, and we ain't got to send nothing over there. And when you think about Amazon, when you order from Amazon, then everything comes, when you flip the box over, it says China, man. I ordered massage guns, my ventilation things, a few other things from Amazon. They always have China on there, man. So of course China's going to shoot their prices up. And another thing, to make it seem like everybody's going to be hurting from these tariffs. It's not going to just be Americans. In China, where these companies used to make these cheap gifts out there, are closing. They're showing them on the TikToks and stuff. Now also those China dudes who make those purses and expensive bags and clothes, they're telling you, come deal with us directly. Let's cut the middleman out. So who's being hurt really? But people are going to feel it here in Babylon as well, and in China, because that leads to war. Tariffs always lead to war, man. You can't hold the people's. The government charges people more money, and people rebel, leads to war. Matthew 10:36, and a man's foes shall be they of his own household, man. Because how our women are when they don't get their gifts, they don't get their goods, they're gonna turn into your foe, man. They're gonna turn into your enemy. They'll be ready to kill you. A woman will kill you over her goods, as far as the simple things. Not her not getting. Another thing, watching what was I watching on YouTube the other day? This Just Hilarious. And now the black women are starting to complain about these China tariffs and how they're going to the stores to buy packages of hair and the prices are astronomical. And this is just the beginning, man. You know? So once again, wait till that man, you know, he hurting. He done got fired from UPS. He coming home. It's that Friday. She want that fresh hair pack. He can't get it for her. We got to say this for rent. We got to say this for food. The household turns, now they're against him, man. You know, his own household is against him now, man. You know? The women in his house are now against him, man. You know, but yeah, these different tariffs and things like that, they're gonna affect the Americans, they're gonna affect the Chinese, they're gonna affect it's a trickle down effect, man. You know, but DJ Trump, in his mind, you know, he's doing the right thing. Now and that, it's not even just his mind; he's just being led by the elites. You know, and the elites, you know, are turning things up right now because they know that they have a short time to work to do their wickedness, man. This is Isaiah 19:1. The burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt. And the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight, every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom, man. Coming very soon, like I said a second ago, man. When those presents don't come in, when these holidays that they've been worshiping those so long, they can't go to them anymore. They're gonna turn each other. They get mad. They get upset. You know, tradition is failing on them. Isaiah 19:3, and the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. And the Egyptians will I give over unto the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord, the Lord of hosts. You know, and you know that it's a possibility that fierce king could be Donald Trump, man. You know, it's a possibility of that, man, because the things he's doing, he's upsetting his own cabinet. You know, the Republicans that voted him in, they're all mad, they're all upset. We didn't vote for this. We didn't know this was gonna happen. They got even the guys upon his cabinet, you know, the Elon Musk, they're trashing his cars left and right. They're protesting against his Tesla mobiles and all that stuff, man. You know, they're protesting against that stuff. So you know, this place is drying up, and as well as they're not respecting, you know, those men that are in power, man. So it might turn Donald Trump turning them up, man. And you see, he's already deporting people, man. You know, and he said those Americans will go to those jails that they just built in Venezuela. I want to say it's in Venezuela, you know. So, you know, Trump is turning up, man. You know. But yeah, our people, they're stuck in this guise. Trump is their go-to leader. He's their everything, man. You know, so the Lord has got them in a trick bag, man. Isaiah 31:1. Woe to them that go to Egypt for help, and stay on horses, and trust in chariots because they are many, and in horsemen because they are very strong. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord, man. You know, in these times, what you should be doing, you should be seeking the Lord, man. Things are closing down left and right, man. You know, your downtown sections of your cities are now ghost towns. They're being overrun by bums now, man. You know, you can't even go to a store right now without a young, able-bodied man out there, doped out of his damn mind, not even asking for change no more. They don't even ask for change. They ask for dollars. They have a certain amount of dollars on their mind they're asking for, man. Can I have $1? Can I have $2? Can I have a few dollars? I'm like, damn, when did y'all go from asking for change to dollars, man? You know? But it's the pride on them too, man. And it's just a sickness, man, that Babylon has on these people, man. You know? And these people believe in Babylon. They believe that this place is gonna come back, man. You know, they believe in these things, man. You know, and you know, we see, like I said, these are young, able-bodied men that don't want to work. They just want to be doped up, you know, for the most part. And you know, it's just, you know, it's just sickening out here, man. You know, this is Babylon the Great, man. Depressing, man. This is how we know this is on our arrest, man. It's too depressing out here, man. It's a sight for sore eyes all around the corner, everywhere you go. stinks. Brothers was just putting up, asking other brothers, do they smell the smell that's going on in the city? Yeah, we live in a stinky city, Chicago, man. You know, not only there's bums around, but the water, lake water comes in stinky. That's because our leaders have poisoned everything, man. You know, rats everywhere. It's crazy, man. This is Luke 23:31. For if they do these things in a green tree, what shall be done in the dry, man? So, you know, once again, these young bums, they out there begging, you know what I'm saying? They could go get a job, but wait till times get rough, man. You know, what they gonna do then, man? They just gonna be dead meat, man, because for one, the drugs that they're on, they ain't gonna be able to get a hold of them, so they're gonna freak out and kill each other or kill themselves, man, you know? But these people, you know, they're freaking out now, and it ain't really, it's like I shouldn't say they're freaking out now, because it really haven't hit that hysteria yet, man, you know? People are still walking around prideful, you know. Another month or two, we'll be going into that punk pride month, you know, where Esau took a whole month and turned it into a day where they frolic around and do debauchery things, you know. But yeah, it's still you're still able to get out here and get these things and stuff. But at the same time, man, the Lord is turning the spirit up. It's you know, for all these Egyptians, man, you know, He's turning the spirit up, and they're going to be feeling the pain very soon, man. You know, they're going to feel the pain very soon, man. And the leaders of this place, man, you know, they're a joke, man. They are a joke. They're all about money and profit, man. And they keep lying to the people, and the people keep falling for it, man. They're sheeple, man. This is Isaiah 9:16. For the leaders of this people cause them to err, and they that are led of them are destroyed, man. So we're going to be seeing a lot more suicides. We're going to be seeing a lot more killings, because these people are not going to be able to take losing jobs. They're not going to be able to take not going to granny's house for the holidays, you know, because they don't have enough money in their gas tank. They didn't get paid because they lost their job, you know. These are the growing pains that's going to happen more and more here in Babylon, man. So just letting you know, man, you know, this was a shocker, because I was just thinking it back through the spirit, you know, how UPS used to always hire. If you didn't have no job, you could go to UPS, but UPS is cutting people, you know. And it's going to be a trickle-down effect. If UPS is doing it, you best believe Amazon's going to be doing it. You best believe any one of your delivery things is going to be cutting jobs. You know, it's a trickle-down effect, man. You know, with that being said, this is edifying. Shalom, Akil.